What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Alright, y'all, welcome to another episode of the session. This is like episode 24. Keeping 1,000, you know. But, I want to talk about Kwame Brown, y'all. So, I don't know if y'all heard, right? Well, let me give y'all a little rundown on what's been going up. So, um, Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson have a podcast, Up in Smoke, or All the Smoke. And on this podcast, they had Gilbert Arenas. So Ben Gilbert, was talking about his experiences playing with the Wizards after MJ departed. I believe it was like 2004 or something like that, or whatever. So anywho, he gets in. He mentions how he was playing with Kwame Brown, who was supposed to be the franchise player, was number one overall pick, first one out of high school since like Wilt, because this is before the LeBron James era, and it was just funny because no, actually, I take that back. LeBron James was in the league, but anywho, he was there. He was the first high school guy after overall. And I think the next year was like Eddie Curry and Tyson Chandler, some weird shit like that. Those are the next high school guys. So, long story short, Gil gets up there. He's talking about how Kwame Brown was, he was hesitant to be the star because of his abuse that he, went through with Jordan. And everybody knows Michael Jordan is a dirtbag. Like he's just his mentality towards the game is savage. So he doesn't have respect. He doesn't hold anything back. He just goes hard on everybody. And some people can relate to that. Some people can't. So their assumptions of the man, being what they were, assumptions, pissed him off. So now he on tirade, right? And to me, he's just telling the truth. Like, Steven Jackson, for all that he says and does to support or motivate, he'll say 10 things to tear down or to intimidate. Matt Barnes, he does have rage problems, and it's evident. Like, you've always been the kind of shifty, slick talking, and they tried to backpedal from their comments because all of them kind of had sarcastic ways about mentioning Kwame's career. Now, Kwame Brown, to me, had a decent career, especially being drafted out of high school. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say anybody in the league or the NBA is a scrub or a bust because you made it to the NBA. I could say it for cats that were supposed to be the number one overall pick, and then they don't even make it to the league because they had problems at school or they let personal life get to them. That's a bust to me. Even then, it depends on the situation because some people's situations are out of their control. But that's neither here nor there for their situation because my opinion only goes as far as the people who's listening. Their opinion is on a national platform with millions of people listening and having that opinion or taking what they say as the gospel. Because if you look at the interview, they're making it seem as if Gilbert Arenas' point of view was the facts. So for me to hear Kwame Brown come out and say his piece, it was refreshing. You know what I mean? I agree with him, man. Like, these dudes make a lot of money tearing down black men. Tearing down black men. Now explain to me how they will never go after any of the white athletes that have controversy. They don't bring these people up. They don't make it a funny joke to talk about them. But you only do it with black athletes. And it's not just Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes. Stephen A. Smith, Skip Bayless, Rob Parker. The list goes on of journalists who don't have the same athletic ability. Not saying these journalists can't hoop or they can't play football, but not to the level of getting paid millions to do so. So who are you to criticize or make your living off of a man who is doing it? Because his point of that hurts his earnings because you, the media, is dragging his name through the mud, and then teams don't want to be associated with a guy averaging 8-8 when they already got a Draymond Green averaging an 8-8 or DeAndre Jordan averaging an 8-8. But they pay them way more money because you're not dragging their names through the mud. And that's how it always is. That's how it is with all types of media. We all know this. That's the system. That's the game. The game has always been rigged so that the masses control who's on top and who doesn't. But the masses in this point are the media. Because they're the ones who have the voice to reach out. They have the influence. Because it's not necessarily me or you. Because a team in Minnesota gives a shit of how I feel in Wisconsin. But if that team in Minnesota feels like, oh, this kid playing in, California, that the ESPN is slated to be top, yeah, we want him. Why? Because our fans here in Minnesota will feel like we're doing something to improve our team. But if, let's say, you're a hardworking player, but you're just getting shitted on in the media, it is what it is, right? So let this be a lesson. It's got to turn nobody down, y'all. Sometimes building people up is way better and profitable. Because look at all the people who stepped their foot into this argument, and now it's all kind of smoke coming their way. You got Charlemagne the God, but he's the worst off. Because dude has a rape case that he's magically swept under the table that has surfaced. With the contradictory of his statement that he made on a podcast, also saying that he drugged a 15-year-old girl and himself supposedly and had sex with her. But he saved her from being, raped by other guys. That's still rape, homeboy. No matter how you slice it. We just locked up Bill Cosby for the same thing. So now you have to look at him, the wrong way. Well, the right way. As a possible rapist. Because that's what society set it up. You was a part of this culture too. You know what I'm saying? You was out here throwing stones with the rest of us. If Bill did it, he should go to jail. If you did it, you should have went to jail. But I'm not a hater of Charlemagne the God. I'm just a guy calling it like it is. Because if I was 23 years old and drugged a young lady at a party, even though we had intent to have sex, had sex with her, woke up and had to tell her I had sex with her, I'm sure I would be looked at as a rapist. Because that would be rape. Non-consensual sex. Non-consensual sex with a nearly passed out young lady. If you can't get a yes, bro, it's a no. That's what I was taught. Now, back to Kwame Brown. I think this man should have his own channel. I feel the man should, I'm not going to say he should stop cursing and clean it up so that people can listen to him better. Just listen to him. Because he's telling you from an insider's perspective, reality. For these men, for reality. These men have made millions of dollars solely based on demonizing black men. And whenever we get to the point where we can say, all right, this is over, I think we'll be better off. Because it's not about sports anymore. You know what I mean? It's like sensationalism. It's the Ron Burgundy effect. If you say something in a sensationalistic way or a way to make people think something negative is going on, then they're intrigued. But if they feel like, oh yeah, this is all wholesome shit, they not looking for you no more. They not interested. Because people love chaos. So even all of this is going on, people love it. But let's be fair. The man is speaking the truth. It's not fair for him to have to go to his family and explain why Charlamagne the God gets to air out all their dirty laundry on the radio, or why his 16-year-old son has to listen to people talk crazy about his father, even though they played on the same team or they played in the same league at the same time. They didn't do anything special. I mean, if you were on a championship team, cool. But Matt Barnes has said it himself. He felt he didn't deserve that ring. He was just there. So, it just got to stop. You know what I mean? If you're going to analyze the game. But do it with a fair shake. Don't just call a guy a bust and he trash. You can't be that trash. It's only, 400-something NBA players in the league? I know there's more basketball players in the world. But he was one of them for 10 years. So who are y'all? You know what I mean? Like, it's unreal. It's unreal. But we're going to stay tuned. You know what I'm saying? Because I got my ear to the streets about it too. It's actually very entertaining to me. And I'm going to follow up on it and I'm going to see how this develops. But y'all stay tuned, man. You know what I mean? Y'all stay tuned. Because I would like to see what happens with Charlamagne and his career. I would like to see what happens with Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson in their career. Because a lot of things that, a lot of people are paying attention to Kwame Brown. And that's going to hurt their bottom line. When you got people emailing or commenting or the social opinion shifts, once Black Twitter get a hold of it, it's rap. But we got to see what the consensus is. Because some people might not care because, Charlamagne is tuned to the streets, as it were, and people do like him, you know what I mean? So are we going to forgive and forget and just sweep it under the rug? Or is this going to be a situation that's questioned and then we actually need answers? All right, y'all. That's my time. Peace.